Okay, so when a brand new token's price just tanks, it's really easy to get swept up in all the panic, right? But what if looking back at history could actually give us a totally different way to see things? That's what we're going to do today. We're going to dive into the recent price drop of the APTM token, but we're going to do it through the eyes of a builder who's actually working on its blockchain, Aptum. And you know what? They kick things off with a bit of a puzzle for us.
All right, so the builder kicks things off with a little quiz for us. Just picture it. You're one of the first people to invest in whatever token this chart is showing, and you're seeing these wild swings up and down. I mean, what's even going through your head? Because let me tell you, the ride this token took in its first year, wow, it's really something else.
Okay, so here's the roller coaster ride this chart is showing us. It kicks off at over $2, which, hey, that's a pretty solid start. But then, boom, just a few months in, it absolutely craters, all the way down to like 42 cents. We're talking a huge, huge drop. And yet, hang on, about a year after hitting that rock bottom, it shoots past $10. I mean, talk about an incredible comeback, right?
So, that mystery token we've all been staring at, the one with that crazy chart, it's Ethereum. Yeah, you heard that right, ETH. One of the absolute titans of the entire crypto world had this just ridiculously shaky start. And this surprising reveal, this is the entire foundation for the builder's whole point. It sets up a really powerful comparison that we're about to dig into.
So that brings us to the first piece of this puzzle. We're going to take a look at the past to really get a handle on what's happening right now. We're about to unpack exactly why this builder brought up Ethereum's chaotic but, ultimately super successful early days.
So the builder uses these words to basically transport us back in time, right into that moment. You can just feel the panic, the uncertainty, all the doubt in the air. It perfectly captures that negative vibe that can just totally swallow a new project when its price collapses. And, it's a feeling that might be hitting pretty close to home for anyone watching APTM right now.
Okay, so this is the million-dollar question, right? How on earth does a project go from being worth a measly 42 cents with everyone panicking to becoming this massive, multi-billion-dollar ecosystem? What was the secret sauce? What sparked that incredible turnaround? Well, according to the author, it all comes down to one single word.
And that word is utility. The way the builder explains it, utility is that magic moment when a technology stops being just something people speculate on, and it actually starts having a real-world purpose. For ETH, this was the birth of smart contracts and dApps, stuff people could actually use. It's that shift where a project becomes a tool, not just a token to trade. And that, right there, is what created real, lasting demand.
All right, so let's take that bit of history and connect it straight to what's happening today. In this next part, we're going to look at that kind of uncomfortable echo between Ethereum's past and what APTM is going through right now.
Okay, this slide just lays it all out, side by side. It makes the parallel crystal clear. You've got early ETH over here, started high, crashed hard, tons of panic selling. And this was all before anyone really knew what its purpose was. And then you look at APTM now. A big price drop after launch, a community feeling pretty unsure about things, and its main purpose hasn't even been switched on yet. See the connection? The author's whole point is that the emotional ride for the community feels almost identical.
Okay, but here comes a really, really important disclaimer from the builder. So listen up. This is not a price prediction. They are not saying APTM is going to be the next Ethereum. The whole point here is to compare the journey, the feeling, the sentiment, not to promise they'll end up in the same place. It's about the experience, not the outcome.
Okay, so keeping that disclaimer front and center, let's zero in on what's actually happening with APTM today from the perspective of this builder who's right there in the trenches.
So even with the market looking pretty rough, the author's view is actually super optimistic, looking ahead. From their vantage point, on the ground floor, this is literally just the beginning. The story of this blockchain is only on, chapter 1. The best parts haven't even been written yet.
And this right here, this is the heart of their whole argument. The builder's making it super clear that the token's core purpose, its whole reason for existing, hasn't even been activated. It's not even turned on yet. So everything happening with the price right now, it's just speculation on a tool that's still in the box. And that's exactly why they're pointing to the next 6 months as the time frame to watch. That's when we'll see what this thing is really all about.
So this really pulls our focus away from obsessing over the daily price chart and points us toward the future. What's the big vision? What's the long-term goal that keeps a builder like this so fired up about the project?
Here, the builder tackles a potential criticism head-on. They're basically saying, look, If you think profit is only about recruiting, you're massively oversimplifying things and you're missing the huge potential of what's actually being built here. It's a clear pivot to talking about the tech.
So what is that bigger picture then? Well, Apertum is what's called an EVM-compatible blockchain. Now, in plain English, that just means it speaks the same language as Ethereum, so it's super easy for developers to move their apps and projects right over. Its own token, APTM, is a standard ERC20 token, which is pretty common. But here's the real key. It's an open network. Anyone can come and build anything on it. And that openness, that's where this builder sees all the real, long-term potential for utility popping up.
Okay, so let's pull all these threads together. What's the ultimate takeaway from this builder's perspective on how to ride out a crypto storm?
It really boils down to a three-step philosophy. First off, you've just got to accept that this kind of wild ride is totally normal for new tech. I mean, we just saw Ethereum's history, right? It proves it. Second, pull your eyes away from the price chart and focus on the actual technology. What is it designed to do? What problems is it trying to solve? And third, based on that answer, you got to keep a long-term vision. Look past the noise of today.
And all of this leaves us with one final big question that really gets to the heart of this whole thing. When we're looking at any new technology, something that could be a real game changer, what should matter more to us? What should be our guide? Is it the initial price and all the market noise today? Or is it the ultimate purpose, the potential utility it could have tomorrow? And really, that's a question that every single person in this space, whether you're a builder or an investor, has to answer for themselves.